Hey YouTube, welcome back. This is part 2 of our parenting in a pandemic and 5 tips to help you survive such an ordeal. Enjoy. So now the fun part. What are some tips that we can pass on to you guys? And these are things that we are currently working on, and they are things that we feel are important. This is not an exclusive list. There's definitely more that could be added, but we just want to focus on like five things that we feel like have been helping and are helping and will continue to help. Number 1, like we already said, guys, schedule. Set a schedule for yourself and your family. The misconception that many of us have is that because we're in a pandemic and we have all this time, then we don't need to set a schedule. And that doesn't always work, because I think what scheduling does is it really gives you the breathing room that you need sometimes.
And that schedule thing kind of also goes into the whole grieving and the reinvention process, because I know early on, I've gotten better about it, but earlier on, I would set a schedule based on what I wanted to accomplish, and what I wanted to accomplish was based on the one child setup, and it's like I was still lagging behind. My system just needed a complete overhaul and update, and so it was just really slow. And something that I've been challenged in embracing and learning to digest and really assimilate to. So the grieving process is important to really mastering the schedule, and really having a handle on it. As a parent, you can. At the end of the day, the children will impact the schedule, but they don't have to dictate it. They are going to be a huge part of how things are shaped, but as a parent, you can shape it. They don't have to control it. And so it's nuance. It's not semantics. It really is a difference. So we know that we have to feed our kids. We know we have to clean them. We know we have a toddler that's potty trained. We know that, like, these things that are just a part of it. But what they ain't gonna do, I know that's Southern boy coming out of me, but like, what they ain't gonna do is tell us when they're going to bed.
Yeah, because they'll probably still be up here trying to be like, mommy, daddy.
Like our son, literally, up until he climbs into his bed, like he's on 12. Like, for real. He's on 12. So, like, they're being the manager of the schedule, giving them their freedom, but also being the manager, being the coach.
Absolutely.
You gotta lead. So, take into account their thriving and maximizing and recognizing the impact that they make on the schedule, but they can't control it. They will definitely impact it, but they can't control it. So
this house is very parent-led.
Yeah.
Parenting.
Yeah.
Number 2. Be intentional about family time, and that includes activities.
Yeah.
So while we're in the pandemic, we know that you can't go to doing everything that you were doing before. Some museums, libraries, story time, some of those things are still closed.
Yeah.
And so trying to find a way to still spend some quality time together. Again, another misconception we have about time is because I have so much of it and we're all home, that means we're spending time. No, just because you have time doesn't mean you're spending quality time, because you still can waste time even though you have time. And you can be busy even though you're all together in the home. But if you don't set time to be together, and at this rate for us, because we have infants that are not walking yet, and then we have Vaughn, who's a toddler, the activities can't all be the same for everyone. So there are times where Vaughn is the one who goes for a walk with Victor, and I'm here with the girls. Lately, like I mentioned before, we ventured out to the park, an open area. We're keeping away from everybody else, and so we're still in our own little bubble of sorts.
Number 3, self-care. Self-care.
This is one we are currently working.
Yeah, currently working. Yeah. I struggle with this. I'll just be upfront.
Yeah, it's hard.
I am a recovering workaholic, and so self-care is something that I am learning to embrace more. Like, I'll talk about it, but like, it's an active struggle to just stop and take care of myself. And so, like, there are things that I do, like, try and exercise and those type of things, and take time for thinking, and I do it sporadically throughout the day, but like dedicating specific time to do that, especially when I have it, I'm just always like, I gotta get more work done. So so just the struggles of a recovering workaholic, and but self-care is critical.
Yeah, and I would say, like, for me, I was having a conversation with my sister, and I was like, one day I was done cooking, and everybody had eaten, and Victor was playing with the kids, and I found myself getting up to go bake a cake. And it's like, you have time. Like, everything is done right now. You can actually go sit down, but I think there's a thought that many of us as women sometimes we go through, which is, if you're sitting down doing nothing, something is wrong, and you shouldn't be. And that is hogwash.
That ain't
That's why I said women. I said some women.
Yeah, some women.
Because I do think that you put stories of it.
That's not what this is about. So. I'm just saying, like, I was just saying that there are some women that don't see things that way.
Oh yeah, that's what I said. There's some women who, if you are sitting down, if you're not doing anything, you've got to be doing something. Like, you have to be doing something, and we can see how that is problematic, because you never take the time to take care of yourself and to be like, it's okay to sit down for 20 minutes if you need it. Because you can work yourself to sickness, you can work yourself to stress, you can work yourself to so many things. And if you are not healthy as a leader, as a mother who's a leader, as a father who's a leader, who's leading this family, if you yourself are not healthy and something happens to you, then it's going to be a problem for everybody. I think a couple days ago, I fell down the stairs, and that put me out. It happened like maybe in the afternoon, and the rest of the day I had to sit and take it easy, and the next day I had to take it easy as well. While I was in the house, I wasn't really walking around and doing what I normally do in us helping each other out. And I mean, that was stressful for Victor, because he had to take on the responsibility. He had to take on the responsibilities and the roles that I would otherwise help out with. And just those 2 days were just like, oh, this is why it's important to
It's why we got to protect our health
of ourselves. This is why we are doing what we're doing in this pandemic. This is why we are being ever so vigilant about making sure that we stay as healthy as possible, because we need
each other.
Like, 1 versus 3 is not an option that we are wanting to get into unwillingly.
2 eyes.
Oh yeah. Well, you were saying. You said you were taking care of how many limbs?
So it's like, if it's 3 kids, it's like 2 eyes have to watch 12 limbs.
You are so dramatic.
No, it's not dramatic. That's what it is.
Somebody was just saying you're taking care of 3 kids.
No.
Why you gotta break it down to...
That's the thing, because the various directions they can go. The son, like, he's running. I mean, he's tall for his age. So, like, he just hit 2 years old. He's 37 inches. He's pretty healthy, a little over 31 pounds. And he can unlock doors. He can climb stuff. Turn your head. He's gone. Just like the girls are. They're scooting now. So it's like, literally, you watching 12 limbs with 2 eyes. So.
Still dramatic, guys. That's still dramatic.
All right. I know there's a parent out there that feel me. I know somebody out there feel me.
Okay.
Difference between the difference between 4 limbs that you're watching with 2 eyes. That's manageable. Then you go to 8 limbs that you're watching with 2 eyes. Depending on the age thing, different to that. But then you go 2 eyes, 12.
Oh, yeah.
So care for yourself, and then care for yourselves, of course, and then also for our marriage.
Yeah, taking time for our marriage. That's another thing that we definitely
just
still
enjoy
working
having fun.
On. Because we are seeing right now, as we call ourselves the youngins, parents, that it's we can see how you can get so consumed
in the kids
that you lose this, or this goes by the wayside, and before you know it, you've lost it. So being able to, honestly, the whole communication thing, like, we haven't been able to do what we normally would do in terms of like date night and all of that, but just the talking, just the being in the room together, and we put our phones down and we're talking, or we decide to watch something together, like those little moments where we may not be able to go out and go for a full date, but with what we have, we're going to try and find quality time for our marriage. And so that's definitely something that we also are trying to push for the married folk, and for just even couples in general.
Absolutely. Number four. Now this is, to me, this is the crux of why parenting is so taxing. Embracing your role, I feel like I've learned that I've had to embrace my role as a teacher and a student. That my child is a teacher, and I am too. My child is a student, and I am too. And so just embracing the dual role of both learning from them and while at the same time learning about them, and likewise with yourself and your spouse, and so it's just a huge, it's for most that are watching this from a Western American perspective, where most learning is done from the teacher to student, and the teacher is doing all of the teaching, the students are doing all of the learning primarily. Parenting is a more communal type of teaching environment where everybody's qualified to teach. Not in the same way, but everybody's a qualified teacher, and everybody is a bona fide student. And so entering it that way is something that I'm learning that's critically important, to learn from, to see the children in that way, like they are gifts from heaven. They've been my hired teachers.
And teach they will.
Yeah.
They don't know they're teaching, but they are teaching. If there is something that, like we talked about the challenges, as we were talking about self-discipline earlier on, the challenges that marriage opens you up to weaknesses that you see in yourself, and parenting opens even more. And brings to light other weaknesses that would have otherwise gone unchecked. And so as they are teaching, you are definitely learning not only about yourself, but you're learning about them too. And then you go from learning to teaching them.
I'll take it a little deeper for just a quick second. In the book Children Are From Heaven by Dr. John Gray. By Dr. John Gray.
Put it down in there.
He talks about how children express what parents often suppress. And so like seeing him express his emotions is like it's frustrating, of course, to watch him do it, but it's like, oh yeah, I know that feeling. I've just learned how to mask it. And so, like, of course, having to teach something that you're still learning is a unique challenge, and teaching them to become what you are still becoming is just a unique challenge of the dual parent teacher role that comes along with parenting. So number 5, final number 5.
Number 5.
Relax.
Yo.
Do it like Aaron Rodgers did a couple of years ago. RELAX. Relax. I don't think they went anywhere really that year in the playoffs, but it worked for the regular season.
It worked the rest of the season.
Yeah, they made the playoffs, but
listen, I wish we could if we could take scheduling, relax, every one of these steps, and just tattoo them on your heart. Honestly, we could and we would. And this is one that is so dear to our hearts as two people who can be equally invested in what we're doing, who seek excellence, and who seek recovering workaholics, recovering perfectionists. Like, it's hard to be able to relax. But the reality is you have to. You have to just be able to loosen the reins a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's right. Code word.
Oh.
Yeah, the code word when we sense each other is...
We have a code word.
Yeah, when we sense... Because we don't want to correct each other in front of the kids.
Yeah, we censor ourselves, obviously.
We don't want for them to be exposed to that and use it against us. Kids are exploiters. They are exploiters. And so we have a code word when we see the other at the tipping, on the edge, or about to blow up. It's reflect. Yeah, reflect.
Reflect on yourself.
Or whatever.
Reflect on this moment.
Whatever you need to do.
Reflect on what you were about to say, what you are about to say. Oh, goodness.
Before you wreck the home. Yeah, so you gotta stop.
So we do. That word of reflect came about when we were, again, having a conversation about how we can help each other as Vaughn is transitioning into a toddler, and helping him manage his emotions, and helping him deal with the moment that he's in. So relax. Parenting is already hard as it is.
You're going to make mistakes. I'm sure you've already figured that out already. You're going to make mistakes.
You will make mistakes.
To each other. Apologize to the kids.
Now that's real.
It's a part of the relaxing thing. Like, you're going to make mistakes, and I guess the good thing about kids is, and then something obviously that has to be shaped into proper proportion, but like they're very forgiving.
Very.
Like I'll be frustrated with him one moment, and then like the next moment, after he looks up from his book, "Hey, Daddy." Like,
validation.
No, you're not gonna get me this time. But it's just like, hey, we moving on, man. We moving on. So, but yeah, just don't allow the moving on moments to pass without properly acknowledging where you messed up. You know, relax. You human.
Now I do want to say a story that I remember about apologizing to your children. I was probably only about a year and a half, maybe a little over a year. And I don't remember what happened, but I remember that evening, Victor was giving Vaughn a bath and getting him ready for bed. And while they were in the water, I heard Victor having a conversation with this 1-year-old. He's like, Vaughn, I want to talk to you about what happened earlier on today, and I would like to apologize to you for what happened. And I'm all sitting there like, I don't even know what apology means. What is he doing? I mean, it's one of those things that he laugh about it because it's in that moment, but it is one of the greatest moments that I witnessed as a parent, watching him interact with his son. Because sometimes as parents we may feel like, because I am the authority, because I am the voice, I am the leader, I don't have to apologize. Or we can take for granted that they don't even know what apology means. So I don't, or what forgiveness is. They don't know any of that, so I don't need to do it. I'm off the hook. It's like, no, you're not. You are laying the groundwork. Not only are you getting yourself in practice for apologizing when they know and they're aware of what has taken place. It's not only good for yourself, but it's also good for them because they know what those words, they've heard those words before. They've had those moments of where it's just been the two of you and you are telling them, I was wrong in the way in which I talked to you this morning. I was wrong in the way I went about this and that and the other. And you can't take those moments for granted. Like that is, you know, as much as someone would be like, he's one, what are you doing? It's like, no, this is just as important as if he was 12.
I can be the authority figure and still be humble.
Absolutely.
You know, I can still admit I'm wrong and not lose the reins. So yeah.
But yes, definitely. Going back to relax. Parenting is hard already as it is, and as Victor said, you will make mistakes. Your parents made mistakes. Their parents made mistakes, and
you're gonna pay for some of them now.
You will. You know, there are consequences that come with them, and some of it you just have to make the mistake in order to learn that this is not the best thing for me to do. It's a part of life that as you have become a parent, they have become a child. So you're both growing. You're both growing in this journey together as children of sorts. And so learn to take it easy on yourself and realize that
grace.
Give yourself grace. Tomorrow is another day and you can start again. You can continue from where you left off, or you can, whatever it is you need to do. Don't be hard on yourself. Schedule, intentionality, self-care, embracing your role as teacher and student, and relax. Five tips, guys. Again, these are what we are working on and what have worked for us and what are working for us as well. And we just wanted to pass that on to you guys and just give you a clue as to how is this ship still floating. And that's one of the ways. And so we hope you found this to be insightful. And listen, drop some other tips in the comment section. Let us know what also has worked for you, because as much as we're sharing our experience, we are definitely still learning. And we want to hear from you guys as well, so that we can add on to our tips, what we can do to make things better. Because as much as you are in this and you're growing, you're also, like we said, you're also learning, and you want to learn as much as possible. We have done a lot of reading, and we still are reading, and we just want to hear from you guys as well. So please let us know some tips that have worked for you guys and are working for you guys, and your own experiences as well. As we grow this community, we want to be there for one another. And so you may be able to help us, and somebody may come across your comment and you can help them too. So don't hesitate. You can be able to comment. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today, and for joining us as we talked about parenting in the pandemic, what has worked, what is challenging, and some tips that can go along the way. We hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, as we always say, let us know what else y'all want to hear about, and what else you'd like us to talk about, and we definitely can come up with something.
All right.
Remember to what? Subscribe, like, share, comment, all of that.
Yeah, do it all. Yeah.
Do it all. Join Be Unstoppable. Hey guys, have a good one. Bye.